This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 2413, Why Being Busy is a Choice and I Choose Not to Be, and It's Possible to Feel Wonder at Every Turn, both by Katie Ping of moreofwhatmattersblog.com. Hello, old friend. I'm your narrator, Justin Malik, reading you blogs every single day of the year to help you live a more meaningful life. There are no interviews on this show. It's not really a typical podcast, just me narrating some amazing blogs. I have two posts for you today, actually, both from Katie Ping. So let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Why Being Busy is a Choice and I Choose Not to Be by Katie Ping of moreofwhatmattersblog.com. We live in a time where being busy is normal. It's almost expected. Being busy makes us feel important. There are people and activities that demand our time, and we oblige, adding yet another event, favor, or chore to our to-do list. And somewhere along the line, it gives us a sense of value. It feels good to be needed, so you say yes to nearly everything. You want to help others, so of course you'll volunteer for the community picnic and participate in the work potluck lunch and still fit in a 60-minute workout. Being busy is something to brag about. Now, this might not be something you admit out loud, but it might still be true. It seems like the people who are the busiest still have time to talk incessantly about how busy they are. I've been there, and I know I've said some of the same things. We have a jam-packed weekend. It's like we're always on the go. I had no time to even think today, let alone do anything else. It's as if there is a widely accepted imaginary trophy for busiest person or family. And you only win by listing all of the things you have to do to all of your friends, neighbors, and social media followers. If you don't post about it, it didn't happen, am I right? Being busy keeps life fun and full. You know what they say, live life to the fullest, do it all, life is short, seize the day. There are so many opportunities to be active and social and help others and entertain your family and enjoy the weekend to the fullest. But what if, when you're busy, you don't feel important and you don't feel like life is fun and full or worth bragging about? This is how I feel when I'm busy. I feel exhausted and anxious and irritable. I feel guilty when I want to say no to something, so I say yes instead. I don't do things 100%. Instead, I move mindlessly from one task to another and one place to the next. What's the point of filling my life with events and tasks that are meant to be fulfilling or helpful to others when I'm doing it absent-mindedly? There is no point. It took me well into my late 20s to realize that my natural inclination to do things I enjoy in my spare time was not something to ever feel guilty about. It also wasn't something to feel ashamed of, as if I wasn't productive enough. I choose not to be busy anymore. I'm still refining on a daily basis as my priorities and values fluctuate. The most useful guidance for me is more of what matters, less of what doesn't. The whole premise behind this blog is the mantra I use to guide my life. Give it a try. You'll find you don't even miss those other things that took up time and space. Now I have another post from Katie coming up in just a sec, but first, I want to talk about a platform that the OLD team here uses every day to help us work smoothly and get our podcast to you on time, and they just so happen to be today's sponsor. In a remote, hybrid world when information is scattered across tools, it's hard to have the full context to get your work done, especially when working cross-functionally. Well, our sponsor Notion provides a home base for your organization and your team by combining note-taking, document sharing, project management, and wikis into one tool, giving your teams full transparency into each other's projects and everyday workflows. Plus, that central workspace is customizable, so your team can make alterations depending on what you need to get work done efficiently. And Notion's worldwide network of millions of users are constantly creating templates, tutorials, and new inspiration that make the product better all the time and ensure that you'll always have the support you need. So learn more and get started for free at notion.com/optimalliving. That's notion.com/optimalliving to help you take the first step toward an organized, happier team today. It's possible to feel wonder at every turn, by Katie Ping of moreofwhatmattersblog.com. When we find ourselves in a familiar place, slouched into our desk chairs, walking down the same street you see every day, leaning over the kitchen sink with dishes in hand, waking to our second alarm, it can be difficult to be present. We're experiencing a routine that we have grown accustomed to, and it all comes easy, or at least it all comes without much thought for what comes next. It's point A to point B to point C without ever needing to pay attention. It's like when you drive home from work and don't remember ever driving. We're on autopilot. Our mind is somewhere else. We just want to get it over with so we can get back to our lives. But that's not living, at least not to our fullest extent. It's when we're taken out of this routine that we begin to notice the way it feels to breathe fresh morning air and the taste of the dark, roasty goodness in our coffee cup and the vibrant colors of a sunset as it disappears over the horizon. We notice we're here because it's somewhere new. It's an experience we need to process. We're excited at every turn and dread ever having to return to monotony. But we don't have to wait for a vacation or a new adventure to appreciate the moments we would otherwise miss. Our day-to-day lives can be exciting and new and full when we practice mindfulness. It's not, let's get this over with. Instead, it's, let's fully experience this. Let vacations and long, wonderful weekends serve as reminders of the life we deserve, one of wonder and exploration and creativity. And then realize that you are the only one keeping yourself from feeling this way every day. We don't have to mindlessly move from one point to the next. In fact, stop that now. Open your eyes and see each moment, whether a task repeated 200 times before or not, as a brand new moment, one we'll never get back, and one that is worthy of our curiosity and amazement. As my vacation wraps up, I'm grateful of the reminder that our lives are lived in the way we choose. And waiting for a break in routine to appear to you is like waiting for your life to begin. The longer you wait, the more you'll miss. You miss the in-between, but you miss more than that. You miss opportunity and moments of peace and beauty occurring in spite of your moving mindlessly through life. I am dedicated to raising my mindfulness in the mundane now and as I return to the real world, whatever that really means, finding reasons to be grateful at every turn. Scrubbing pans from dinner? I'm grateful for this wonderful meal I can afford and enjoy and fill up on. Longing for an escape? I'm grateful for the stability I have in my life. Good job, wonderful house, loving family, curiosity to this big world around us, and drive to better myself. It doesn't have to always be lavish nights out and luxurious getaways. There is goodness in every turn. You just have to be there to see it. You just listened to the posts titled, Why Being Busy is a Choice and I Choose Not to Be, and It's Possible to Feel Wonder at Every Turn, both by Katie Ping of moreofwhatmattersblog.com. Thank you to Katie. Reflecting back on the first article, it is interesting that if or when we get to a point where we don't have much to do, it's almost seen as a bad thing. Like taking time to ourselves to sit and do nothing is a waste, when in reality it could be many different things: recharging, relaxing, self-care, thinking, possibly even an experiment. I once had a college professor ask us to do a really strange assignment, to sit in our living room or family room, preferably with other people around, and just stare off into space doing nothing. You can even watch the TV with the TV off, then write about the experience. And you might think, what a waste. I don't have to do that to write about what would happen. But in my experience, actually trying that experiment led to interesting results, both on the inside and outside. I remember one classmate reporting that his roommate actually got angry with him, questioning him why he was just sitting there staring, doing nothing. Plus there's all the internal thinking about what other people are thinking about us while we're doing nothing, thinking about if it's a waste of time, thinking about how many thoughts are actually running through my mind. And I bring this up because there's so much judgment around not being busy or having something to do at all times, something on the agenda. I say we push against that because, as Katie said, it's a choice. And if you want to make room for more of what matters, well, the only way to do that is to become less busy. So say no today if you wish. Don't feel guilty about it. Wishing you a wonderful day and middle of the week if you're listening in real time. And I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.